James and Lily were both living the dream more, so they thought. On the surface, James had the corner office, the high-paying job, and the recognition he'd worked so hard for. Lily, a rising star in the marketing world, had everything most people would envy: a steady career, a growing network, and the promise of a bright future. But deep inside, both were questioning the very paths they'd chosen. Were they truly successful, or had they simply been chasing a dream that wasn't theirs to begin with? Their journey to uncover the truth would not only change their careers, it would redefine the very meaning of purpose and profit. The journey of finding purpose and profit is not one with a clear endpoint. It's ongoing, evolving, and changing as we grow. The world around us is constantly shifting, and so too must our approach to work, success, and fulfillment. But one thing remains certain: when we align our actions with purpose, we not only create something valuable for ourselves, but for the world around us. As you continue on your journey, remember this: the true power lies in your ability to define success for yourself. The more you align your work with your purpose, the greater your profit will be, not just in money, but in satisfaction, freedom, and fulfillment. For generations, we've been taught to believe that a stable job is the key to a secure and fulfilling life. It starts from a young age: go to school, graduate, get a good job, and work hard to climb the corporate ladder. This idea is ingrained in us, shaping our expectations and decisions for years. We've been told that the path to success is clear-cut, that job security is a guarantee if you just work hard enough. But what if this belief is an illusion? The traditional notion of job security, where you could work at the same company for decades and retire with a pension, is quickly becoming a thing of the past. Over the last few decades, the landscape of work has changed dramatically. The rise of automation, globalization, and the gig economy has shattered the idea of a secure, lifelong job. Companies that once prided themselves on offering long-term employment are now shifting to temporary contracts and part-time work, valuing flexibility over loyalty. What was once considered a safe career path is now uncertain and full of risk. The problem lies in the fact that society still clings to the old idea of a job as the ultimate source of security and identity. People are conditioned to think that having a job defines who they are. We equate job titles with worth, status, and success. But in today's fast-paced world, even the most stable jobs can disappear overnight. Technological advancements and changing market demands have made many traditional jobs obsolete, while others are at constant risk of being outsourced or automated. As this reality sets in, many people are waking up to the fact that their careers, which once seemed like their ticket to a secure future, are now precarious at best. Layoffs, downsizing, and the elimination of entire industries have left millions of workers facing uncertainty. But here's the twist, rather. Then resigning themselves to this uncertainty, many are taking matters into their own hands. People who have lost their jobs are increasingly turning to entrepreneurship, freelancing, or other non-traditional forms of employment to regain control over their financial futures. This shift is shaking the foundation of what we once believed about work. The truth is, jobs no longer provide the security they once did. This realization can be disorienting and unsettling, but it also opens up new possibilities. Instead of relying on a job for security, individuals are finding that the real key to stability is adaptability and autonomy. The ability to pivot, to learn new skills, and to take risks in the face of uncertainty has become the new measure of success. People who are willing to embrace change and create their own opportunities are often the ones who thrive in today's evolving job market. But here's the real question. If jobs are no longer the sure route to security, then what is? What do we do when the structure we've relied on for so long starts to crumble? The answer isn't simple, but it lies in redefining what we value and how we approach our careers. Perhaps it's not about finding the perfect job, but about finding the freedom to design a life that aligns with our values and aspirations. The truth about jobs isn't that they are inherently bad or that they have no value at us, that we need to rethink how we view them, how we use them, and how we define success in a world where job security is no longer guaranteed. The journey toward a fulfilling and secure life isn't about clinging to outdated ideals. but about embracing new ways of working, living, and thriving. The idea of profit is often viewed through the lens of financial gain. From a young age, we are taught that success is measured by the money we make, the possessions we accumulate, and the status we achieve. The narrative is clear. Work hard, make money, and the world will reward you with happiness and success. But as we grow older, we begin to see cracks in this narrative. The more we chase after profit, the more we realize it doesn't always lead to fulfillment. In fact, sometimes it can lead to an emptiness that money alone can't fill. Profit is often tied to our work-hour careers, businesses, and investments. We're told to aim for the highest-paying job, to climb the corporate ladder, to maximize our earnings. But as more people achieve financial success, many find themselves burned out, stressed, and disconnected from what truly matters. The hustle for profit becomes a cycle of never-ending work and sacrifice, where personal well-being, relationships, and even happiness are left by the wayside. In the relentless pursuit of money, we often lose sight of the very thing we're working for, a life that feels meaningful and worthwhile. The twist here is that profit, when defined solely in monetary terms, can be a double-edged sword. Sure, money provides comfort, security, and the ability to experience the world in ways that were once out of reach. But as we chase after it, the more it can begin to consume us. The desire for profit leads to a mindset of competition, scarcity, and comparison. We measure ourselves against others, constantly trying to keep up with the latest trends, the biggest houses, the fastest cars. But in doing so, we end up chasing an illusion of moving target that will never fully satisfy us. It's easy to get caught up in this cycle, to believe that more is always better. We work longer hours, sacrifice our personal time, and push ourselves to achieve more, all in the name of profit. And yet many who reach the pinnacle of financial success report feeling unfulfilled, disconnected from their passions, and increasingly anxious. For all the wealth they've accumulated, they often find that something is still missing. Money alone doesn't bring joy or meaning. This paradox raises a fundamental question. Is there a way to achieve profit without sacrificing purpose? What if we could redefine profit, not just as money, but as the value we create in the world? True profit might not be about how much we accumulate, but about how much we give, whether it's in the form of time, energy, creativity, or impact. When profit is measured by the positive change we make, the rewards are far more satisfying and long-lasting. Many people are beginning to see this shift. They are finding ways to align their work with their values, using their skills to create value that goes beyond financial gain. This might mean starting a business that solves real-world problems, choosing a career that aligns with personal beliefs, or creating art that moves and inspires. It's about finding meaning in the work we do and contributing to something greater than ourselves. In this way, profit becomes a byproduct of purpose rather than its driving force. The truth is, profit isn't inherently bad, it's the way we define and pursue it that matters. When profit is tied to a deeper sense of purpose, it becomes something that enhances our lives, rather than detracting from them. By shifting our focus from profit as a goal to profit as a means of creating value, we can move beyond the empty chase for wealth and instead build lives that are truly fulfilling. It's a change in perspective that can redefine success, not just for individuals, but for society as a whole. The search for purpose is a journey that everyone embarks on, whether they are aware of it or not. From the moment we begin to make decisions about our lives, the question of what am I here for starts to creep into our minds. In our early years, purpose might seem clear. We follow a path laid out by society, parents, or teachers. But as we grow older, this path can begin to feel less certain, less fulfilling. The realization that a job, a paycheck, or a title might not be enough to satisfy the deeper yearning within can be unsettling. People begin to wonder, is there more to life than just working to survive? Purpose is different from a job or career. Jobs provide income, security, and structure, but purpose is something deeper. It is what drives you in the face of obstacles, what keeps you going when the world feels uncertain. Purpose is often tied to values, to something that resonates with your core beliefs and desires. But what happens when you've spent years working toward a career that doesn't feel aligned with your true purpose? What happens when you realize that the things you've been chasing, the promotions, the accolades, the financial rewards, aren't enough to fill the void? This realization can be a painful one, especially if you've invested so much of your time and energy into building a life around external markers of success. We live in a world that constantly tells us that success is about accumulating wealth, climbing the social ladder, and achieving more. But as you pause and reflect, you may begin to feel the tug of something different, something that transcends conventional goals. It's the call to find meaning, to do something that has a lasting impact, to create a legacy that goes beyond personal gain. This journey toward purpose is rarely linear. It's filled with uncertainty, confusion, and doubt. Many people, after years of working in jobs that don't feel fulfilling, face the question, what now? The answer isn't easy or immediate. Some people embark on a quest to reinvent themselves, to pivot into a new field or passion. Others might begin to question their relationships or the lifestyle they've built. They may seek new ways to connect with others, to make a difference, or to simply find joy in the everyday moments. The twist here is that purpose doesn't always come in a neat, packaged form. It's not something you can check off a list. It's something that often requires you to unlearn everything you thought you knew about success. It might involve stepping away from a stable career, taking risks, and embracing uncertainty. But in that uncertainty lies the opportunity for real growth, for a deeper connection to yourself and the world around you. The pursuit of purpose often leads people to unexpected places. It could be through starting a new business that aligns with your passion, diving into a creative endeavor, or dedicating your time to causes that matter most to you. It's about aligning your actions with your values and finding fulfillment in the process, not just the outcome. What's striking about this journey is that as you start to live more purposefully, things begin to shift. You attract opportunities, build connections, and experience a sense of peace that comes from knowing you redoing something that resonates with who you truly are. For many, the journey toward purpose involves trial and error, moments of fear, and times when it feels like everything is falling apart. But it's also a journey filled with discovery of new skills, new passions, and new ways of thinking about success. The search for purpose may not be easy, but it's always worth it. Because in the end, when you align your work with what you believe in, the result is a life that feels whole, authentic, and deeply rewarding. There is a certain allure to the idea of freedom, the freedom to live life on your own terms, to make your own decisions, and to carve your own path. It's a concept that many people strive for, but few actually experience. In a world where we are constantly bombarded with external expectations, whether from society, family, or even ourselves, the idea of true freedom can seem distant, almost unreachable. And yet, in recent years, a growing number of people are realizing that freedom isn't just a dream at ES, something that can be attained. If you're willing to take the leap, true freedom isn't about escaping responsibility or living a life without any boundaries. Instead, it's about the ability to choose how you spend your time, how you earn a living, and how you define your own success. For most of us, this kind of freedom means stepping away from the conventional 9-to-5 grind and creating a life that aligns with our personal values and passions. It means rejecting the societal pressure to conform to a predetermined script and embracing the uncertainty of creating your own path. But freedom, as enticing as it sounds, comes with its own set of challenges. When you're no longer bound by the structure of a traditional job, you are forced to take full responsibility for your choices. There is no longer a boss or organization telling you what to do, and that can be both exhilarating and terrifying. Without a clear framework, it's easy to fall into a trap of procrastination, self-doubt, and uncertainty. The freedom to do what you want can easily turn into the paralysis of choice. With no one to answer to but yourself, it's up to you to stay motivated, to keep moving forward, and to ensure that your freedom doesn't slip into chaos. However, the rewards of this freedom are undeniable. The ability to work on your own terms, to pursue projects and passions that excite you, and to create a lifestyle that aligns with your deepest desires, brings a sense of fulfillment that is hard to find in traditional career paths. The freedom to choose your work means that you can focus on what truly matters to you. It's no longer about working for the weekend or living for retirement. It's about building a life where every day feels meaningful, where your work contributes to something you believe in, where you have the flexibility to enjoy your life on your own schedule. The twist here is that many people are realizing that freedom isn't something that S just handed to you. It's not about waiting for the right moment or the right opportunity. It's about creating it for yourself. It requires courage to step away from the familiar and to embrace the unknown. But once you take that step, you begin to realize that the structure and stability you once relied on was never as secure as it seemed. True stability comes from the ability to adapt, to evolve, and to create something that's truly your own. Freedom also offers a unique opportunity to redefine what success means. For many people, success is no longer about climbing the corporate ladder or accumulating wealth. Instead, it's about finding balance, living with intention, and making choices that support a life of happiness, growth, and contribution. Success is now measured by the impact you have on the world, by the relationships you cultivate, and by the personal growth you experience along the way. It's a much more holistic and fulfilling definition of success, one that doesn't rely on external validation or societal expectations. In embracing freedom, we also learn to let go of the need for approval or validation from others. We no longer live in a world where we have to compete for a limited set of opportunities. Instead, we understand that there are endless ways to create value, and that by embracing our own unique journey, we are not only creating freedom for ourselves, but also opening the door for others to do the same. Ultimately, the power of freedom lies in its potential to transform not just our work, but our entire lives. When you create a life that is rooted in freedom, you begin to experience a sense of fulfillment that can be found in any job title or paycheck. Freedom is about having the power to shape your own destiny, to create a life that reflects who you truly are, and to experience the world on your own terms. It's a journey that requires risk, self-discipline, and trust. But the rewards, both personal and professional, are worth every step. Success is a concept that is as elusive as it is universal. We all seek it, yet we all define it differently. For some, success is a comfortable home, a prestigious job, or financial security. For others, it's a sense of purpose, the ability to impact the world positively, or the freedom to live life on their own terms. The common thread among all of us, however, is the desire to feel that our lives matter, that our actions are meaningful, and that our efforts are leading us somewhere worthwhile. Yet as we chase success in whatever form it takes, we often find that the journey is not as clear-cut as we were led to believe. For many, the traditional markers of success, wealth, status, career achievement are deeply ingrained from a young age. We're taught that working hard, climbing the corporate ladder, and accumulating material wealth will eventually lead to fulfillment. But as the years go by, many realize that these external achievements often fail to deliver the internal satisfaction we seek. The more we acquire, the more we are left wanting, as if the definition of success is an ever-moving target that we can never quite reach. This realization can be jarring, especially when we've spent so much of our lives chasing after the wrong things. The twist comes when we stop looking outward for validation and start to look inward. True success, it turns out, is not about external achievements, but about internal fulfillment. It's not about the accolades or the titles we acquire, but about the peace that comes from living authentically, from aligning our work with our values, and from contributing to something greater than ourselves. Success, in its truest form, is not measured by how much we accumulate, but by how much we give, how much we grow, and how much we impact the lives of others. For many people, this shift in perspective is liberating. It frees them from the pressure to meet society's expectations and allows them to define success on their own terms. It means that success isn't confined to a linear path, nor is it limited to a specific set of goals. Instead, success becomes a dynamic, evolving concept, one that changes as we grow, as we learn, and as we adapt to the world around us. It's no longer about reaching a fixed destination. It's about enjoying the journey, learning from every experience, and making choices that reflect our authentic selves. The power of this shift is immense. When we embrace success as a personal internal experience, we open ourselves to new possibilities. We are no longer bound by the rules set by others or by a rigid definition of what success should look like. Instead, we are free to create lives that reflect our own desires, passions, and values. We begin to focus on what truly matters, building meaningful relationships, pursuing work that brings us joy, and contributing to causes that align with our core beliefs. This redefined success also allows us to experience a deeper sense of satisfaction. When success is no longer measured by external standards, we find ourselves more present, more content, and more at peace with where we are in life. We stop living in comparison to others, no longer seeking approval or striving to keep up with the latest trends. Instead, we start to appreciate the small, everyday moments that bring us joy and meaning. Success, then, becomes a reflection of our own values and our own unique journey. Not something dictated by society or the expectations of others. The true measure of success, then, isn't found in the traditional achievements we've been taught to chase. It's found in the ability to live with purpose, to make choices that align with who we truly are, and to contribute to the world in ways that are meaningful to us. When we let go of the need for external validation and begin to define success on our own terms, we unlock a sense of freedom and fulfillment that no job title or paycheck could ever provide. Success becomes less about what we accumulate and more about the impact we make, the relationships we cultivate, and the personal growth we experience along the way. In the end, success is not an endpoint, it's a journey. It's not about reaching a particular goal, but about continually evolving, learning, and living authentically. The true measure of success lies in the peace that comes from knowing you are living a life true to yourself, a life that aligns with your values and allows you to make a difference in the world. Success, when defined in this way, becomes a source of endless fulfillment and joy, one that no external measure can ever take away.